Hello everybody, welcome to my episode 5 breakdown / theory speculation video for episode 5 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. This week's episode, I thought it was good. I feel like last week's was like great. I feel like last week's was some of the best TV we've gotten on Disney Plus. But this week's to me was just good. So it's like we've kind of done this with the Falcon and Winter Soldier. The first episode was good, second episode was great, third episode was good, fourth episode was great. And then this week's episode was good. But there were some nice character moments, and I think there was a lot of stuff in there to enjoy. So let's get into it. So this episode starts out exactly where we left off in the last episode. John Walker is running away from this crime scene, basically. And Bucky and Falcon decide, we're going to take the shield. We saw in the trailer the part where John Walker's like, you sure you want to do this? And then Bucky looks up and he's like, yeah, we do. So badass. So badass. I honestly thought that fight scene was incredible. I kind of thought that Bucky should just be able to mull over his ass. I was like, wow. John Walker's super soldier serum has done a lot for him. I was like, 70 years of training or John Walker with his life training and like the Medal of Honor thing. I was like, okay, I guess I'll give it to you. But I was like, really? I think Bucky should just be able to mull over this guy. So then we cut to the GRC raiding places, kind of getting everyone out of Carly's places and kind of ruining it for all the civilians there who were basically just refugees, just hanging out there. The GRC basically moves them all out, and then Bucky decides he's going to go and see Zemo, and Sam decides he's going to go and talk to Isaiah. I really think that this show might have a second season. WandaVision, that's its own thing. You can kind of tell that that's a one-off. But this one, I think, by the time this ends, I think a season 2 would be good. We could further explore his buddy moving along, into becoming the new Falcon. I also think that they should rename the show Captain America and the White Wolf, because that's honestly a lot more badass than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But we'll see. So then we cut to the John Walker, basically being interrogated by the U.S. Senate Committee. The Global Reparation Council is interviewing him, and he basically looks at all these American officials, and he's like, you made me. You made me. I know what the mandate is. I'm doing this thing. Blah, 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 blah. You made me. I thought it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed that. And then he walks out, and then surprise guest, this is the big cameo, Valentina Allegra, who is Madam Hydra in the comics. So Hydra is still around? Or maybe she's some part of some other group? Interesting. Apparently she was supposed to show up in the Black Widow movie, but since that didn't come out, we're seeing her here first. Interesting. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was kind of fun. She hands him the card that has no name on it or whatever. And I like that it kind of funnels John Walker into becoming more of a villain. So after that, we cut to Bucky and he points the gun at Zemo and then he drops the bullets, that shot we saw from the trailer. And then the Wakandans decided that they're going to take Zemo to the raft. I thought this scene was actually pretty nice. The little moment between Bucky and Zemo. He just takes it in and he accepts his death. He's ready to go back and see his kids and stuff. And maybe there's a little bit of peace there. But then Bucky hands him over to the Wakandans, and the Wakandans say that they are going to take him to the raft. No way Zemo doesn't get out. I think it might happen in She-Hulk when Abomination also escapes from the raft in some sort of sense. I don't think there's any way he's in there long term at all. Then Bucky asks the Wakandans for a favor, and I was like, okay, what is this going to be? I was like, is it going to be a new suit? Is it going to be some sort of thing? And it looks like it's going to be a new suit. When I saw that scene, I was like, is it going to be a new suit? Is he trying to get them to build a new suit? Or is he going to, ask them to, tell him how to stop the arm thing? I was just like, is Bucky in a place to ask for favors from the Wakandans? I was like, yeah, I guess he could be. That was just a little bit of okay, I guess this is for the sake of the story. We need the Wakandans to help out. So then basically the heart of the episode, Sam goes and finds Isaiah, and Isaiah explains his entire backstory. He saved a bunch of people from a prisoner of war who were also test experiments for other doses of the Captain America spin-off serum. He was the only one who survived, and they tested on him for 30 years and buried him. Man, no joke, that shit was hard to watch. I mean, it just fits with the theme. The theme of the show is what does it mean to have what does it mean then to have a black Captain America? What does it mean now to have a black Captain America? And these are the two different ideals. Isaiah is burned. Isaiah he wants nothing to do with that. He even tells Sam, don't show me that shield, those stars and stripes. mean nothing good for me around here. I thought it was really well handled, and I thought like the layers of like this connecting with several hundreds of years of Black history just being completely erased and obliterated, and then the same thing happening to Isaiah and him literally being a manifestation of that for Sam, and Sam being the contrasting ideal, which Isaiah refers to as basically the white ideals, that maybe there is hope. Things aren't like that anymore. It's really interesting. And I think it really helps feed into where Sam is going as a character. And I feel like that, with the Bucky scene at the end, is what pushes him to put on the uniform and take up the shield at the end of this episode. So then Sam decides to go home and help Sarah build the boat, and Bucky comes along, drops off the suitcase, and he decides to help and stay too. It was kind of funny. There's a little like Bucky Sarah little flirtation there going, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could see it. Like I could see that. I don't think that's the end of that. Like I feel like in Far From Home, Happy and Aunt May are like just a one and done. Like I think that's gonna be it. Like in the next movie, they won't be together. But I feel like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I feel like next time we see Sarah and Bucky together, I think they might be like going on a date or together. Like Sam warns him not to flirt, but I think there's actually like a relationship there. Then we cut to John Walker, and he's literally blatantly lying to Lamar's parents. He's telling them that he killed the dude who killed their son, and that is just absolute bullshit. He is done. He's completely devolved. He's gone literally insane. Like, I genuinely believe this dude is crazy. And I don't think that, I used to think that he was going to die, like at the end of the show. And that's still like a 40-50% chance for me, but I think at the end of the show, he might get taken away and be used as like a Winter Soldier type for like the US, like the United States, like bury him underground and then like they use him whenever they need to. He's not good news anymore. So then we cut to Sam and Bucky, and there's this nice little scene where Bucky just he finally understands like what Sam's going through. He hands him back the shield. He says, "Me and Steve never could have understood this." And that's not something that they ever had to think about. And there's this real moment of understanding between the characters. And then Sam, being the sort of like PTSD like counselor he is, gives Bucky the advice he needs to go on and do and get the closure that he needs. I think in the next episode we'll see that Bucky's going to go back and talk to that old man whose son he killed, and there's going to be some real like Bucky's finally going to get closure for one of his people. So then there's this scene with Sarah and Sam decides, you know what, I'm not gonna sit down. I'm gonna fight this. Like he basically disagrees with Isaiah. He completely understands Isaiah, but he wants to be the Captain America that we need, essentially. And I'm all for it. I'm 100%. I'm 100% on board with Sam. And they do like a Rocky montage where he's like, dun, 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 and he's like flipping the shield and stuff, like catching it and moving it. I was like, this is literally a Rocky montage. Like, I don't know how anyone hasn't made like several fan edits. So then we cut to Carly meeting up with Backdrop the Leaper, who I knew was going to come back into play to this somehow. What's interesting is it seems like Sharon might be working for Carly in some capacity because she's the one who called Backdrop the Leaper. I mean, earlier in the episode there was a clip of her on the phone, and she was like, "I'm the one. Don't forget who got you out of that Algerian prison." And then we see Batroc come back. And Batroc, I believe they said he was in an Algerian prison. So I think that Sharon might be working for the Flag Smashers, which was a shocking twist. Maybe that was one of her problems, like when the doctor died. Maybe that's what she was trying. Maybe she was there to like try and protect, basically, but also wants to help Sam and Bucky. It was interesting. I was like, man, maybe Sharon's full on working for the Flag Smashers because there's something sus going on with her. And I think that might be what it is. But Carly and Batroc decide that Batroc's going to get revengeance on Falcon, and she's going to try and blow up the Global Retribution Council, which kind of starts happening by the end of the episode. That's going to be interesting to see. Now they have three villains. They have John Walker, who I think is going to be who Bucky fights. And then they have Batroc the Leaper, who I think is Falcon is going to fight. And then I think Carly is going to be turned. I think Carly is going to be inspired by Sam being a Captain America that Captain America should be. And I think she's going to be arrested but turned. And I think US Agent will get done in by Winter Soldier, and Falcon will do in Batroc the Leaper. So then we cut to Sam realizing what's going on, and he opens the suit, And then we're about to look at the suit, and then it cuts and ends. What? Oh my god, so unfulfilling. Like, genuinely, really upsetting. Like, I wanted to see it so bad. This is the equivalent to me of them, like, I don't know. Oh man, I just feel like if they were gonna do that, they should have just showed us the suit, like without him putting it on. Like maybe he just lifts it up and then the episode ends. Because I was like, man, come on, like at least just show us. Like you're not even gonna tease it. Like tease it a little bit. Like it's supposed to be like a trailer for next week. Like John Walker picks up the bloody shield and there's that shot. And you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. Wouldn't it have been cool to have a shot where like Sam picks up the suit and you like there's a shot and then it ends? I don't know. I just don't like it that they were like trying to hide it from us. But I understand that next week we'll see it, so it's whatever. But I was like, oh man, show us the suit. Come on, I want to see it. But I guess that's a good thing. That's a good thing more than it's a bad thing that I'm interested that much. Yeah, and then there's a post-credit scene in this one, which is John Walker building a shield. Dude, this shield is going to be dog water. There's no way this shield's going to be any good at all. I don't understand. I don't understand what he's building it out of like iron and stuff. And when it gets hit with that vibranium shield, it's just gonna get absolutely demolished. There's yeah, I thought it was kind of goofy. It kind of looked like the Iron Man scene, like where he's dun 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 dun, like bing bing. But like I don't know, John Walker's off the deep end in a big way, and I think it's gonna be him and Bucky that fight at the end of this. This week I don't really have any theories that are different. I think that John Walker, like I said, I think he's going to become kind of a sleeper agent by the end of this. They're going to capture him, take him away, maybe do a lot of experiments on him because he's got some of that super soldier serum in him. There might not be enough scientists to like figure it out because, like it said, it took that one dude like 20 years, and he seemed to be the only one who knew how to do it. But I think he'll be like a sleeper agent for the U.S. after next episode. I think Bucky's going to do him in. They're going to be the ones to fight. Um, the Wakandans are done. The story's wrapped up. Zemo's done. The story's wrapped up. I think there's going to be a season 2 of the show. I really do. I think it's going to be called Captain America and the White Wolf. I don't. What's going to be really interesting to see is how are they going to introduce these characters in other films now? Because this feels so separate. Like this series, like WandaVision, you could feel it like, okay, this can lead into something. I can feel that. This show feels different. It feels like they are now in their own little pocket. And maybe that's because like we haven't seen anything else like this for a while. Like everything else has been very grandiose and large scale. And this is so like minute and like it's not small. Like these are big world events, but it just feels detached some way. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it feels like there will be several seasons of this show. Madam Hydra might show up, but I don't think she's going to be much of a play until later. I think she's going to be kind of part of the team that takes in U.S. Agent. And I think Carly's going to be coerced into agreeing with and accepting the ideals that Sam has put forward. And there's a disgruntlement there between her partner and her. I think that is going to play into it, kind of. I think that she's going to go really extreme and they're going to be like, these are innocent people you're trying to kill. I don't see them committing all the way to that because they're trying to do the right thing. And I feel like Carly's kind of taking it too far, but Sam needs to pull her back in. So we'll see what happens there. And that is going to do it for my episode 5 breakdown of Falcon Winter Soldier. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It really, really helps me out. Every week I have Movie News Mondays that comes out on Mondays in particular where we break down all the news from the past week. And I also have, this weekly show. And I'll be doing one for The Bad Batch as well when that Star Wars show gets rolling out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.